Well, everybody, better late than never. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend the rest of the Lancaster Prophetic Conference, but the last session I attended was the Thursday morning session, which was Joe Sweet's talk. So I'll just go over some of my notes here. So his talk was about being about the Father's business. He said, we must be in the Scriptures to be His disciple. Prayers will be answered as we fulfill the Great Commission. So the fulfillment of the Great Commission is very important. Holy living and prayer meetings are very important. He discussed an experience that he had with hell, in hell. He asked the Father to show him hell, and he had a harrowing experience. I would suggest listening to his talk for his rundown of that. It was quite interesting. Galatians 2:20, not my will, His will. Looks like I was also at the next talk, just after Joe Sweet on Thursday, which was by the Sadhu Sundar Selvaraj. He said, Lancaster will be safe in earthquakes, like Goshen. He was discussing the San Andreas fault. The journey is going to begin. Prepare for it. I believe he said an angel told him. He discussed survival for the remnant, how the Israelites were told to prepare before leaving Egypt. We rarely experience God really because we've made our own God to worship, which I definitely agree with that. He said we should go back to the basics. The gospel is that the kingdom of God is coming, not that Jesus died on the cross. The gospel is the kingdom of God coming to earth, which I also would agree. He said, we must be a practitioner, not only a learner. You are not your own. You are a servant bought with a price. And that is all. That is all I have from the Lancaster Prophetic Conference. I myself am waiting for the talks to be published. And from what I was there to hear, I did not hear much prophecy. Granted, I was only there for maybe a quarter of the conference, which is okay with me. You know, I've been a bit burned so far as prophecy is concerned, and it was a long time coming and well deserved. Hopefully I'll gain some discernment and not just become bitter or against all prophecy, though in my bad experience I have become pretty jaded about the charismatic movement in general. If you watch my first video from this session, from this Lancaster Prophetic Conference, you'll see a woman, Louise, discuss all the reasons I shouldn't be so critical of people sharing prophecies that don't come to pass. And she chronicles very well the reasonings within the charismatic community for why it's basically okay and why you can basically say anything as a prophet and get away with it, and still have people following you and listening to you, which all of those reasons fall flat for me. The standards don't need to lower in the so-called New Covenant. They should be higher, I'd say. And that is not for me to say anything nasty about Neville or other prophets. I still like Neville. It's a curious thing, you know, the most popular prophet of my day, so far as I can tell, is Bob Jones, who died recently, within the last couple of years. Very well respected at the heads of many of the charismatic movements of today. For instance, IHOP. One of their basic prophecies, their prophetic history, has to do with Bob Jones. And one of the final prophecies from Bob Jones was that Mitt Romney was to win the 2012 presidential election. I think it was the 2012 election, something like that. Clearly wrong. Clearly didn't happen. It's that to me is unacceptable for our prophet that is so respected to be wrong. I'm sure there is much to be said and much to be understood about it, but still, it should give us pause. It shouldn't be something to take lightly. So, all in all, Prophetic Conference, I enjoy it. I really enjoy going to Joe Sweet's prayer meetings in the mornings. I enjoy the worship. I enjoy the people. Though I have pretty strong distaste for much of Christian culture and Christianity today. It's what I was raised in, and I remember. I have very fond memories of it all, and still feel very comfortable in that environment. And maybe I'll go to the Prophetic Conference more in the future. It's not so far away from Phoenix, where I live. And I like Joe, and but maybe not. Maybe not. Anyway, that's all I have.